Autobots transform and roll out. That new starting screen is pretty good, right? I'm really proud of that new starting screen. I wanted to let it set for a minute. Um, if you rewatch this in the archives and you watch this later, there are some obviously the full thing didn't play, but there are actually Easter eggs. Like I worked really hard on that. There's actually Easter eggs if it plays long enough. One or two may have already popped up. So if you go back through and you watch it later, I'm very proud of it, including the effect and the music over it. So really proud of our opening starting soon screen and the music in it, which again is a pretty easy edit. If you know, you know. Like, you should know the actual song. It's my favorite band ever, and they were featured in two Transformer movies. Um, I just did a lo-fi version of it. That's it. I'm really proud of that fucking starting screen. Okay. Oh, maybe it depends on how the stream goes. If we get a lull, if we get a lull, absolutely. Okay. Oh, my guitar pick. I was just right here. So, not gonna. Oh, Miguel, which again, Miguel is our moderator. Again, wonderful employee. Miguel says, not gonna lie, the new intro is a vibe. TJ says, transform and roll out. TJ asks, what is it? I'm not gonna tell you what the Easter eggs are. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to like watch a whole story stream. Uh, Dan says, keep the new intro. Thank you. Again, I really did. Like I was up relative late for me. I was up late for me working on it, and then I finished it this morning. Because again, my nobody tell anyone because again, I know everybody's still getting comfortable, and we don't like have any like burning questions right now. So before I start talking about Transformers, I just want to say like my work, like I don't, I really don't need that much work. Like I really don't. Like so I have like Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. I'm going to be off now. Um, no, I was playing guitar. My guitar's just off screen over there. So anyway, today no work, and so I've been doing a lot of other stuff for my business, for my company, um, and so it's been a very energetic day. The weather's nice. Also, not gonna lie, I'm in a really good mood because the girl that I have a crush on asked me out, but for next Friday. So like this week, because I have my kids this week, but next week I have a date with the girl, which Miguel already knows because I've talked about her. But like, so I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl today. I got a lot of work done on the game engine. Got some stuff done on Transformers, some fun stuff that because I'm really excited for this year. This is gonna be a big year for Transformers. So like I'm making sure the channel is active. So and so I've just been working on some videos, the new live stream intro, things like that. Um, okay, so I had some comments I wanted to follow up on because of the last live stream. So we're gonna follow up on here just real quick. Again, if anybody has any questions or comments, whatever you want to talk about, we will. But I did want to get ahead of this just real quick because I left out some names in our last live stream, and then I just want to follow up on a couple of stories from our last Transformers live stream, just to make sure we're all on the same page. That's it. Just to make certain that we're all on the same page. Okay, so this was a previous leak. This was blah, 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 blah. So this is based on a previous leak that we've been covering thoroughly for like over a year now. Deadline, of course, eventually confirmed that Skybound Entertainment and Hasbro are producing and developing an adult animated series set in the Energon universe. It's going to be called Transformers, but it is going to involve the Void Rivals and G.I. Joe, and it's going to bring them all together into one cohesive show with the potential room for spin offs. That show is being ran by Joe Henderson. He is the showrunner. Currently, a network or a streaming service has not picked up this series. I assume it will eventually land on Amazon because of Kirkman's relationship with that network. Beyond all of that, I wanted to follow up and really give a point to Wolf for shining a light on this because this is amazing casting and I'm not going to shut up about it, so I wanted to open it with it. There are auditions being held for the roles for every role in this Energon Universe show. So anyone previously associated with the character is not technically guaranteed to have that role. They are looking for an Optimus Prime. They're looking for a Megatron. With all of that being said, specifically right here, right now, I want to say Sam Witwer should be the Energon Universe's Megatron. He deserves that role. He is amazing in everything he's done. If you don't know Sam Witwer, he was Doomsday in Smallville. He was in Battlestar Galactica. He is Starkiller in The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. He is Maul in Clone Wars and Rebels and on and on and on. He's Maul in everything. If Maul has a voice, it's Sam Witwer. He was even Maul in the Solo Star Wars film. He was also the brother in the Mortis trilogy. Sam Witwer has been Stormtroopers. He's been sound effects for Merrick in Ahsoka. He's everywhere in Star Wars. But also on top of that, he is actually a Transformers fan. He actually likes Transformers, Voltron, beyond Star Wars. He is a huge Transformers fan. He deserves this role. Like, he would be an iconic, perfect voice for Megatron. Now, how Megatron sounds in your mind, if he's just Frank Welker for you, that's fine. But Frank Welker and Peter Cullen are both going to be retiring from these Transformer roles. So it's time to start finding a new, permanent, if you will, voice. Sam Witwer is that voice. 100%. Whether you go the really soft-spoken, the Sith Lord Maul kind of voice, we will have our revenge. Or if you want to go a little Corey Burton, which is, Shockwave, my most loyal of Decepticons, if you want to have this voice. But for me, I don't think Energon Universe is really Corey Burton. I think he's more Maul. Yeah, I think he's more, we will have our revenge. I think he's more that. Sam Witwer can do that. That's all I'm saying. And I want to give Wolf a big shout out for commenting that fan casting, because that's perfect. And I'm gonna be riding that. I'm leading that hype train, Wolf. I'm the conductor. Get on. Let's get Sam Witwer cast in Transformers, the Energon Universe animated series. Okay. Anyway, with that, let's catch into it. Yes, my main squeeze. I'm really, again, in terms of the date, I am very excited. I am legitimately very, very excited for next Friday. I hadn't asked her out because, again, I've been, I've been dating, but I haven't been like serious, and I haven't been super giddy. Like, I've just been kind of casually dating. I didn't really want to go from one relationship to the other, so I've been casually dating and have not really stopped and said, hey, let's be serious. So my horror era is coming to an end. Maybe, potentially. We'll see. I'm very excited about the date, though. I wasn't expecting her to ask me out. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it at all. So I'm very excited. Okay, so your soon-to-be second ex-wife. Well, fuck you. Miguel says, tell me, Greg, why did they make Optimus a... Okay, so in terms of Transformers issue 30, do not get me started on that. Transformers issue 30 is a good issue. I honestly, like, again, it's the pacing that's my only complaint. Elita becoming a Prime and Elita and Optimus having their divorce is the trajectory of that story that started all the way back with Danny Warren Johnson in issue 11 or 12. That's the trajectory. Anyway, Dan says, Duke just met Optimus. Any fan castings for these two? I'm involved with 2 projects. Oh, cool. So you're involved in like 2 fan projects? That's awesome, man. Let's see. TJ says, because I just want to be clear, Dan says he's, I'm involved with 2 Transformers projects as the same character, as a voice actor. Unless Dan corrects me, I do believe those are fan projects, and because I don't want any misinformation or too much of a vague post leading people astray. So I do believe that is a fan project, which is awesome. I love fan projects. Absolutely. Dan, I assume you're jazz. Is that racial profiling right there? TJ says, how about that Iron Man Mark 1 fort skin? Ain't she pretty? The Mark 1 is the big gray suit. What the fuck are you talking about? Is the big gray Iron Man suit in Fortnite right now? Because the Mark 1 is the gray giant suit. TJ, are you a fake Marvel fan? Did you just call the red and gold Mark 1? Oh my God. TJ, somebody tell me right now, is the gray suit in there, or is TJ talking about the red and gold suit that's in Fortnite? We might have a fake fan here. We might have a fake Marvel fan. Okay, anyway. I actually do have some fan castings for Duke and Optimus. We'll get to those once I get caught up. Steve says anything gaming wise. Just bits and pieces. So we know that Hasbro canceled. Well, I say Hasbro. This is outside of Transformers Reactivate because I just want to be clear because I am excited because I mean, we're on the cusp of years of really good Transformers content. As long as, again, nothing gets canceled and the world doesn't end, and our pedophile administration doesn't take us into an endless war just to avoid the Epstein leaks that are coming out that show our current president is a rapist and a pedophile and was involved in a massive international child sex trafficking ring. Anyway, as long as the world doesn't end, we have a few years of really good Transformers content. I hate using that fucking word content, but we have a lot of good Transformers stories and a lot of Transformers media coming. But yeah, in terms of gaming, there are two games in development. One is a kid Todd. It's weird. The phrasing I'm not sure on. I guess kid focused. Like I feel like every game that's a Transformer game can be technically probably be played by anybody, but as long as nothing has been canceled, there is a kid-focused title in development. I think we'll probably see that one sooner than later, or at least like a kid-friendly, kind of thing. And then of course there is the massive AAA game that is speeding along in development. That should, again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's announced in 2027 for a release in 2028. That's going to be a massive AAA shooter that comes directly from Hasbro. That is what Hasbro said to investors. That's not rumor. That's literally what Hasbro said to investors. So we're on the cusp of some really good shit. Let's see. Miguel says, Greg, did you get the Ice Prince sidekick yet? I did. And his name is hilarious. I'm going to let you see it when we play Fortnite later. One suggestion for a name that appeared when I pressed random against my disc for mine, the second name was Little Greg. That is hilarious. I wish you would have got a picture of that. That would have been funny. I don't like Cap's suit that's in the shop. Miguel says the Iron Man suit is the Mark III R7. I believe, because again, I only quickly scrolled through the shop. I'm not really buying MCU suits. I believe it is the... Yeah, I think it's the Mark III or the Mark IV. Which is why I was writing TJ's ass, because he's a fake fan. Which again, I am kidding. I love TJ Maxx. I think it's the one from the first Avengers or Iron Man 1. I think, because again, I only quickly scrolled. I believe the suit that is out right now is the suit from, like, legitimately the first Iron Man film. Dan says, yeah, both are major fan projects. Not confirming the character I'm playing, but when you get a chance, check out the Decepticon trailer. It's essentially Transformers 6. Oh, right on. That's not the one that's made by the crazy Nazi, right? I heard there was a Transformers fan project that was made by a Nazi, and I'm not going to give that any clicks, and I'm not going to give that any breath on this channel. So as long as it's not the Nazi one, that's awesome. If it is the Nazi one, I will never check it out, and so do let me know. I want to be certain that it's not the Nazi one, or was it like a Transformers Prime one that was made by a Nazi? Some Transformers fan project was made by a Nazi, and I don't want anything to do with it. I won't ever watch it, give it clicks, or any attention. Okay, TJ says, the first red and gold Iron Man, you nerds. Says the person who literally just a couple of days ago posted fan art of Superman. You're drawing Batman and Superman in their tidy whities, man. So you're just as much of a nerd, and you got the suit wrong. TJ Maxx is a fake fan. Breaking news. Okay. Dan says, like it or not, I am not a content creator. I reject that. That was not a thing when I started actually making money on YouTube. Absolutely not. I'm a fan who likes to talk to other people, and I think what it is the Mark III. I knew it. I was right. I think because I grew up, because again, you got to remember, I'm 37 years old. There wasn't like when I was a Rugrat, there was, the internet was just the world was just giving birth to the internet. Like it wasn't all of this. There you weren't playing games online all the time. You weren't connecting with people all over the globe. Like as the internet has taken form and has become this easy to set down and literally connect with anybody the world over, that's what's cool to me. And maybe part of that is because of my background in marketing. Like, I have my professional mind, and then I have my creative mind where I like to tell stories and stuff, which I would like to do professionally. Um, which that's what my company is. That's why we're making a video game, and I have the best employees. But I can't bring myself to I can't bring to call myself a content creator. I'm not, and I don't like referring to shows and games as just content because that makes it sound like it's throwaway. That makes it sound like these awesome games are just something that, oh no, we can just abandon this. And I don't think any Transformers project is going to be that because Hasbro isn't Disney. Hasbro actually cares about the Transformers brand. That's why the situation with Reactivate escalated the way it did. Hasbro wants Transformers out there. It's their biggest one. And we have a Transformers comic that is winning Eisner Awards constantly. It is the biggest universe in comics, bigger than Marvel and DC. That's really freaking awesome. The Energon universe is doing something in comics that hasn't happened in what, 30 years, like, or 20, 25 years, let's be generous. And I think that's really impressive. I ain't buying it either. Miguel is not buying the MCU skins. Yeah, again, there is one other gaming rumor that I wanted to get to. This is a gaming rumor. Some of this stuff, I like to classify, but I want to get to that since we are talking about Fortnite. There is Transformers in September. Transformers the movie will actually celebrate its 40th anniversary. There is a rumor that there is going to be a, Fortnite, what is the word I'm looking for? Collaboration. That there is going to be a Fortnite collaboration. It's not going to be like a season. It's not going to be like a world or whatever. I don't know if you can put this in the bin with Ben 10, with the Ben 10 rumors that are going around crazy. Like Ben 10 is not going to get a season, but apparently there's going to be a collab. There's going to be some Ben 10 skins. Well, now there is a rumor that there's going to be Transformer skins with the 40th anniversary celebration of the 86 movie. Do not play with my heart like that. Like, really, don't do that. Don't tease me that way. That is a big deal for me. If that turns out to be true, I am going to spend a lot of money in Fortnite. I mean, if it's one skin, I'm going to get it. If it's two skins, I'm going to get it. If it is G1 skins from the 86 film where you have Optimus and battle damaged Optimus, I'm going to get it. I will get all of them. I will get all of them. So do not tease me. Like, that's really mean to do. But if the Fortnite Hasbro Transformers 40th anniversary, Transformers the movie 40th anniversary apology tour collaboration is actually true, if this is true, I am seated. I'm going to be there. That's a big deal for me. Let's see. Dan says, oh dear God, no, that's Galvatron's Revenge. Not involved with that one. Okay. So I was right. There is a Nazi Transformers fan project, Galvatron's Revenge. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is the Transformers Prime sequel series, right? I kind of figured you weren't involved with the Nazi one because you're black. Like, I figure if you're a Nazi, you're probably openly racist. You're not casting a black guy. Even if it's a fan project, you're probably going to have Jazz played by the whitest motherfucker ever. But again, it's possible, anything. It is possible. But thankfully, you're not associated with the Nazis, so good on you, man. Let's see. Miguel says, ain't all Nazis crazy, though? Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I guess the definition of crazy, this is tough. This is tough because I feel like saying it's crazy removes them from accountability. I think being crazy it limits accountability. They know exactly what they're doing. They're in their right mind. They are racist, sick, sexist fucks that are Nazis. But some of them say things and do things that are on the crazy side. But I think saying that they're all crazy removes accountability. Thanks for coming to my talk. And like this live stream. Like it right now. You know you want to. Hold on, I got a notification. Okay. Like it right now. Okay. Let's see. Miguel says, get off my boat, TJ. That slot's already filled by moi. What? What are we talking about? Oh, TJ said, I'm one of those cute nerds. TJ's a cute nerd. I'm a sexy nerd. I think we should go on a date. Couple of nerds on a date. Anyway, let's see. TJ, get off my plane. Miguel says, probably what they did with the Avatar collab. Yeah. Going to be exclusive Bayverse skins. Not for the 40th anniversary of the animated movie, man. Brandon says, just skins? That's kind of unfortunate since Star Wars and Marvel have had pretty big season collabs. Don't forget, Star Wars and Marvel have that because Disney has a massive stake in Epic. Like, Disney owns Epic. No, not completely, but Disney has a 10% ownership of Epic. So, Disney's going to push their properties. Star Wars and Marvel are always going to get treated better. Always. Always. That's why WB keeps getting these really big skins as part of season passes, like Superman season pass, Bugs Bunny season pass. Disney are being cunts. Anyway, TJ says we got to rewrite the sequel trilogy in our custom Fortnite mode. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And if we're going to rewrite the sequel trilogy, man, I've got the story. Let's fucking go. I am ready. Because we need to erase everything Disney has done. We need to get rid of all of it. We're going to go, it's going to be gritty. It's going to be dramatic. We're going to really push to the forefront of the war, especially on what it takes to rebuild after something like the Trump administration, which would parallel the evil Galactic Empire. What it takes to rebuild, what these characters are doing, sacrifice, rebirth. Let's do it. Let's do it. I've got the story. I'm actually not kidding. I am that much of a Star Wars fan. I've actually wrote a treatment for my sequel trilogy. Yes, I really have. And in my opinion, it's actually pretty good. Anyway, I also have, like, again, not kidding. I also have a Transformers story that I've written. Anyway, let's see. You can make your own game in Fortnite. Yeah. Well, they didn't actually announce it today. This was announced a couple of days ago, and it's in our Discord. All the information for the like literally the wealth of content that you can make in Fortnite for building an entire Star Wars game, and all of anything you make will be published on May 1st in celebration of May the 4th. It is connected to Disney Fortnite. Because that's the whole thing. These are Fortnite islands. But again, it's pretty much open-ended to what you want to create. Miguel says, I mean, a lot of neo-Nazis collab with black people. Really? That's interesting. Anyway, Miguel says, better? Question mark. Anyway, TJ says, I'm only liking it for the mug. I know what you're really liking it for. I know. You have to say that. But deep down, I know what you're really here for. Let's see. Dan says, yeah, it's the Prime sequel, but right now the fans are realizing they were too harsh on Robots in Disguise 2015. No comment. I'm sorry. I don't care for that cartoon. I'm sorry. I don't care for Robots in Disguise 2015. Let's see. TJ says, we and Sanders at a dive bar. Hide your sisters. Bring your sister, TJ. Bring your sister. We should do it, man. Next time I'm in New York. The last time I was in New York, I got me and a friend arrested. So let's do it. Next time I'm in New York, I'll message you. I know exactly where I want to take you to, which sounds dirty, but like legit. Next time I'm in New York, I'm going to wait for it. How old are you, TJ? Are you at least 21? Anyway, Dan says, is TJ a female? He is when he's with me. TJ says, yeah. Brandon says, yeah, that's true, but Avatar also had pretty significant season 2, didn't it? Had skins, mythics, a whole kit and caboodle, and that's a Paramount property, right? Avatar is owned by Paramount. Avatar had a full season, like a Avatar season. Again, I haven't been playing Fortnite very long, so like I don't know anything about this. I know Avatar had skins in the shop. I saw those, but I didn't know Avatar had like a season dedicated to it. That's cool. Which again, that happens. I mean, I doubt you see an island. Did Avatar also get like an island like Star Wars and Marvel do, or was it just in like a season pass like what they do with Superman and Bugs Bunny? Again, there's layers to this. Like the shrewd business person, I can't, there's layers to it. Anyway, Dan says I gave up on the Disney erasing the sequel trilogy train a while ago. Oh, no, let's again, my fan projects aside, because again, I do believe I do believe my sequel trilogy is better than Disney's. Objectively, I believe that. Disney itself, though, that's it. Like, unless they rebooted everything from the beginning, the sequel trilogy is the sequel trilogy. We're stuck with it. Like I like the weird campaigns to erase the sequel trilogy, they'll go nowhere. That's just not how business is done. Carrie Fisher has passed away. Peter Mayhew has passed away. Like, they're not remaking the sequel trilogy. The ones we have, we're stuck with. The best Disney can do is just move the fuck on and maybe do some retcons along the way. That's what I would do. That's how I would make it work. I could make this sequel trilogy. I could make Disney's sequel trilogy work with a couple of retcons in future movies. Give me Star Wars Episode 10, and you'll have a $2 billion movie, because I can make every fan happy. Objectively. I'm not being subjective. I can make every Star Wars fan happy. I just know how. Anyway. Miguel says, a lot of the collabs have those, Brandon. Miguel says, Greg, we can literally make our own islands however we want it to be. Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited for that. I want to make a first-person shooter, but I'm also working on our company game. So it's like priorities. Let's see. I don't know how old TJ is. I think TJ's like 24, 25. Miguel says we could bend and sprinkle in temples around the map. Yeah. Brandon says, yeah, I'd say it was really big because I think it was kind of connected to the story, but it had point of interest in that season for sure. That's cool. Again, that's really awesome. That's awesome that they do it. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it's always going to be bigger. It's always going to be bigger when there's a tie-in to something Disney can do. Excuse me, with Star Wars or Marvel. It's always going to be bigger than anything else, and it will overshadow everything. It just will. Like, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm sure there's going to be some Spider-Man shit, like, all that. Miguel says, kind of what I'm thinking they'll do with the Ben 10 collab. Brandon says, I'm not 100% sure about it being related to the story, but there were Avatar characters that you could speak to. That's really cool. So then, like what they did in the Star Wars season where you could run into people on the island, that's really cool. I would love to see that. Again, don't get me wrong in saying all of that. I just like to make sure every side of this is covered, because I like to paint a clear picture. I don't want to give one angle, and I don't want to just do one perspective. And I'm not super aware of Fortnite, so there is that. But what I will, just in terms of what all has happened in the past. But I say all of that to say this. I would love if the Transformers collab is bigger than just some skins, but I don't want to set myself up for that. I don't know if Hasbro would pay that kind of money. And again, all of this is just rumor right now. I'm not super involved in the Fortnite community. I don't like when I first started playing it, I was data mining a little bit, but I just got Fortnite is fun to relax and play and stuff, but I'm not invested in it like I was with. Well, like I wanted to be invested in Marvel's Avengers. I wanted to be invested in Transformers Rise. Those things never came to pass. I wanted to be invested in Transformers Online. That went offline, but it is back online in an illegal way. I'm trying to get stuff together because, again, I have a few days where I can just kind of fuck off. I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but there is a really cool Transformers game that was only released in China. Transformers Online. It was, again, completely free to play. It did go offline. It went offline because Transformers Online Certain Affinities title was going to replace it internationally, even in China, which, again, Transformers Online by Certain Affinity ended up being called Impact, and then Rise, and then Reactivate, and then Splash. You know the history, and if you don't, we got videos on it on this very channel. But I say all of that to say this. The Transformers Online game that was in China, is playable still. People have actually, there's a group that got it running. So I was going to be sharing that. And if anybody actually wants to play a live service online first person Transformers game, it's honestly like I haven't played the rebuild that these people did. I played it back in the day. Um, when it was actually running in China, I played it. So I'm gonna try to get as much information as I can together to post that. In addition to that, there is another game that's been offline for a while that's also back, Marvel Rivals. The group Marvel Rivals 1.0 is officially launched. It's active. The game is finished. You can literally play the complete Marvel Heroes. I'm sorry, the complete Marvel Heroes experience. As if it was working, multiplayer stories, all the skins, everything is in there to unlock and play. So if you don't know about both of those projects, I'm sure you could find them on your own, but I am going to post them in the Discord just to make it easy access for people to get. Most computers should be able to run both of those titles. Marvel Rivals is very old, so really basic computers should be able to run either of those if you get it running and you're not running a lot in the background. But they are really cool. Anyway, just saying. Okay, so let's go back to it. Dan says, with what you've heard, do you really believe Sean Levy and King Burst trilogy will make people happy? So Sean Levy is only doing one film. He's only contracted for one film, and he's doing Starfighter. I think Starfighter is going to be a really good Star Wars film. I think it's going to make people happy. I think it's going to disappoint people if they come in expecting it to have a ton of nostalgia bait. It actually really doesn't. There is a couple of rumors that have confused me on the Starfighter film. I don't know 100% what's true, so I just haven't touched it until I'm more confident to talk about it. But Sean Levy's only doing one film right now. If that's successful, we could see that continue. Simon Kingberg's trilogy. As long as I'm trying to be as cordial as possible, as long as Simon Kinberg is only writing it and at that co-writing it, I think the Simon Kinberg episodes 10, 11, and 12 have potential to be very solid films. Because again, the last thing I heard at Star Wars Celebration, the gossip going around when they got off stage was that Simon Kinberg is co-writing 10, 11, and 12, and that's what it's going to be called. We'll see what actually ends up happening. If Simon Kinberg directs any of them, no. I'm sorry, Simon Kinberg's directing efforts have not been very good. Honestly, his writing for the Marvel properties has not been good, period. But Kinberg has written really good episodes of Star Wars Rebels. So I'm open-minded. But I feel like the age of Star Wars is fading, and it's fading because of Disney's poor handling of a beloved property. It's fading because of poor management, not because of women. To all of the incels out there who are upset about women, who are upset about Alita, who are upset about RC, you got bigger problems. But that's not what's ruining these franchises. Honestly, nothing's ruining Transformers. Transformers is the best place it's ever been. You just got to have patience to have all this stuff start coming out. Okay, now I'm going to catch up again. Let's see. Miguel says, I seriously still miss the web shooters. Yeah, I know you do. I'm pretty sure they're coming back. Let's see. Brandon says, yeah, that's fair. If the Marvel Star Wars stuff is always bigger, just if we're not getting a AAA game anytime soon, then Fortnite is our last hope as of right now. For AAA, like new games, yeah. But again, like I just said, there is some ways to play Transformer games in a manner of speaking. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Now, all that being said, when I talk about Transformers has a good future ahead of it, I legitimately mean that. If everything goes to schedule, because again, this is me putting on my production brain and how production usually rolls out, and based on when we had these first leaks on the show and the game, we could get season 1 of Transformers, the Energon Universe series. Season 1 of that could launch fall 2027. The game that Hasbro is talking to investors about has been in development since 2025. We could see that in 2028. Every year. And the plan for the Energon Universe show, they're starting. They want to have a season every year. They don't want a major skip. Hasbro's putting money into this. So every year, as long as this show is successful, every year we're going to have Transformers on television, on streaming. Then it's going to expand into Void Rivals and G.I. Joe. If it's really successful, they're going to spin off and get their own shows. So every year, a new season of a Transformers adult animated series. We're going to have the kid focused series on YouTube or any other streaming partner that Hasbro gets. Right now it's Cyberworld. It will be something else. There's always going to be a kid focused series, and then there's going to be the adult animated series. Then we're going to get, if the schedule and everything goes to plan, then we're going to get a AAA Transformers game in, let's say, holiday 2028. Let's be a little optimistic. All that's left is the movie. There is no movie currently in development. Right now there is no movie currently in development, but we're in the era of a film rebirth or reset. I think the only way to move forward with the films is a complete reboot. That's how I feel about it. Personally, I think doing an animated film is the way to go, not Transformers 1, not that, not a sequel to that. We need a complete full reboot, and we need it set on Earth, and it needs to be animated. And I think personally, Hasbro needs to find a new partner, and I think Universal is that partner. But again, we have to wait for the license to leave Paramount, and I'm really hoping it does. I'm really hoping Paramount is not able to get a movie made in time. Okay, anyway. Luke! It's been a hot minute. Hey, Luke! Miguel says they had better physics than in Sonic Spider-Man games. Oh, cool. Right on, man. Miguel says, bro, Patterson really be locking in as Leon. He has the aura down. What? Anyway, Dan says, is the new Transformers Saber game supposed to be innovative with a new story? Or are we doing Autobots versus Decepticons? Something I was looking forward to, and Reactivate were the two working together. So last I heard, based on the concept art and based on some of the early leaks after the Hasbro investor meeting, and again, we're talking really early in development. We saw how much impact changed. I mean, like, you look at these leaks, you look at the art books, things change. So it is going to have a single-player campaign. It is going to have a campaign, a story mode campaign. The original thing that I heard was that the story was going to follow a particular character, and that character was going to be Optimus. That made sense to me. That's an easy one. But there would be a multiplayer component. The competitive multiplayer would be very traditional Autobots versus Decepticons. Any other details about the story, it was just too early at that time, and I really haven't heard anything additional since that investor talk. But like I said, it was, there was like an idea of like, hey, let's really explore a story mode. Let's explore a good campaign, but focus on one character, and then the competitive would be Autobots versus Decepticons. The word live service in that first investor meeting, live service, was not used. Make of that what you will. They might not be using that phrasing to investors because of Reactivate. Live service might be a bad word in marketing right now. There's all kinds of reasons not to say live service to an investor. If the plan is to make this a live service game, that exact key phrasing has never been used in anything I've seen or heard. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means, hey, this is a bad word right now. But it is going to have, or at least was going to have a competitive multiplayer component, and it was going to be classic Autobots versus Decepticons. What the story is beyond a playable Optimus as the lead narrative, I don't know. I don't know at this point because I don't have anything additional from what we last talked about. Let's see. Brandon says, I do have War for Cybertron on my computer. Nice. I need Revenge of the Fallen, the 07 movie game. Oh, yeah. I actually... I've been showing my son Fall of Cybertron because I have those games on Steam. I bought them before they were delisted. So, in Fall of Cybertron, I've literally everything. Like, I have every achievement in Fall of Cybertron. There weren't Steam achievements for War for Cybertron when that game first came out. I like War for Cybertron, don't get me wrong. I just think Fall of Cybertron is a better title. So that's the one where I was like, my son was asking about Transformer games, and I was like, oh, let me show you Fall of Cybertron. My son is really super into Transformers right now, which is awesome. Like, and it happened naturally too. I mean, he sees me watching Transformers and reading Transformers, but I don't really like push that stuff. I don't. I'm just like, if he's into it, he's into it. He'll find it. Because I don't really, that's just not what I want to do. And he found it, and he's super into it. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to drop some fucking lore. We just watched the 86 movie. His reaction was hilarious. I didn't record all of his reactions because I wasn't prepared for him to actually like react, and he did. He watches movies like his dad does, and I really fucking react if something surprises me. So I did record some of his reactions. It's actually a video on this channel. But it was just cool because like he watched the '86 movie. He watched it. He was glued. It was awesome. I loved it. Okay. Sorry, I just had a message that made me laugh. Okay, what's going on? Oh my god. Oh, that's not real. Okay, never mind. That's not real. That's not real. Like I just got to stop. I just got to be clear. Um, just that is not real, like at all. We know that, right? That's not real. Um, that is not real. That is fake, and I'm gonna acknowledge that that is fake before it gets out of hand. Uh, anyway, yeah, that's fake. That's fake. I'm gonna leave it up so that people know what is fake in the Discord, but that is fake. So cut it, cut it, fucking cut it. Let's see. TJ says, imagine a bounty hunter custom mode. A lot you could do there. Oh God, yeah, yeah. Um, no, Miguel, seriously, I'm not kidding. That is like no, seriously, because you're gonna say that, and your title's gonna make people believe it. No, that is legitimately fake. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It would be hilarious. It would be awesome if Robert Pattinson was actually playing uh, Leon Kennedy, but that is all fake. That's all fake. Okay, anyway. Anyway, TJ says, imagine a bounty hunter custom mode, a lot you could do there. Yeah, I think the mechanics are really there. I'd love that. Uh, uh, but again, though, I love Star Wars Bounty Hunter. That's a great fucking video game. Um, let's see. Dan says someone's been watching the brand new Day trailer, Rebirth. Oh, you know. Oh, man. You want to hear my crazy conspiracy for Spider Man Brand New Day? Keith David is in it, and he's Miles Warren. Anyway. Miguel says Greg was paid off to say he loved it by Disney. I mean, you know. I'm neither going to confirm nor deny that I received a promotional packet from Disney. Anyway. Steve says, still got the PS3 disc of Fall of Cybertron. Paid around $100 when I got it at my retro store, but so worth it. Oh, nice. Right on. That's cool. I never played it on PlayStation 3. Again, I played it on 360. 360? Yeah, 360. I played it on 360. And then I bought them on Steam before they were delisted. They're better on Steam. Just the graphics are it's just better. But man, that Fall of Cybertron game is so good. I'm so happy my son's really taken to it. Like it's just cool. Let's see. Miguel says your trans fan is genetic. I guess it is. I guess it is. Hold on. I have a text. I'm sorry. We're caught up right now, so there's nothing like for me to urgently respond to. Nobody has like a burning question, so um, anyway. um, let's see who's Miles Warren. Oh, never mind. I'm not even doing this with you. Dan says that's something I'd hope fans would recognize. I can honestly see him playing the Jackal full on towards the end. The end of the trilogy. The end of the trilogy. There is no Jackal in this movie. Just so we're clear. There is no Jackal in this movie. Spider-Man Brand New Day is all about Jean Grey and experimenting. And genetic experimenting. Anyway. Miguel says, you fucking sellout. I was joking. Dude, I gotta pay, you know, we are a very young gaming studio, man. I've got to pay the bills. I've got to pay the bills. You know what? And Disney is desperate for positive, you know, they're desperate for positive social media reactions. So you do what you got to do. Anyway. Let's see. Dan says, my conspiracy on Miles Morales is he's in that shot with Peter. Oh, no. Miles Morales isn't in this movie. He's not allowed to be in live action. So that's simple. That solves it. Miguel says, so it's been 40... Oh! Not yet. We're still going. That might end up being... I might end up reading that on a stream that is not on the Transformers channel. When has Miles been the Jackal? What? Genetic experimenting. Mr. Sinister, is that you? It's all connected, man. It's all connected. You just gotta wait until 2028. Oh, that rhymed. I'm dropping bars, motherfucker. What we got going on? Hold on. I muted my notifications so that you don't hear R2D2 going off constantly. Musicians and artists. Ah, okay. Sorry, between getting texts and then my TikTok notifications for my videos. TikTok just gets views really quickly. It's awesome. Oh, someone shared. So there are this is really kind of funny to me. There's actually there's a lot of grifters, as you know. There are grifters who are swearing up and down that Sadie Sink isn't Jean Grey. They've been saying she's one of a number of different characters, saying she's Shatra, just stupid shit. Really, really stupid shit. And it's grifting. And they're saying it on they're only saying these leaks on their Patreons. So like you have to be giving them money to even see this shit. So I've been going around saying, listen, $2,000. $2,000. Bet. Like legitimate $2,000. That Sadie Sink is Jean Grey in this movie. Would you like, since you're saying you know exactly who she is because of your source, would you like to, you know, put money on it? Like, since you're so certain, you know, the Patreon money's coming in for you. You know, people can only see leaks on your Patreon, which is insane to me. Don't give people money for leaks. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Not for leaks. Don't fucking do that. And I've been getting blocked, and I've been charting this story. Some of you, my colleagues, know this, but I've been charting this story. So far, no one has taken me up on it, but I've got $2,000 that I 100% am willing. Like, Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Just to be super clear on that, she's Jean Grey. I leaked that over a year ago. Before I leaked it over a year ago, even before she was cast. When she had I leaked her first meeting with Marvel. So I am willing to put money on it. I am willing to put $2,000 of my company's budget, $2,000 on that leak. So far, I'm just getting blocked. Anyway. But yes, I just got notified that they were sharing it, and so I respect it. Thank you for the sharing of any of the stupid shit I post, but I do stand by it. I have $2,000 I will put money on it. Like, this is no joke. Like, all these leaks, everything, all the rumors, anything, any gossip I've ever heard gets posted publicly. I think having, like, listen, you want to support creators, you go right ahead, but don't support people who are in the grift. Like, that's the only thing, because then you have, if you have to maintain content, because this is where content comes in. To maintain content, you have to be leaking and making up leaks all the fucking time. You have to do it all the fucking time. You will make stuff up, or you'll say, you'll say like, "Oh, I know this is going to happen," just because it's a logical outcome. Like, if if you truly, if you have a leak that says Sadie Sink is someone else, and you're only posting it on Patreon, I have $2,000 to bet you, which might not be a lot to you because you're stealing people's money and you're lying, but it's a lot of money for me because that's my gaming budget. Like, that's a chunk of my development budget. So let's go. Let's 100% go. Anyway, let's see. Dan says not allowed to be in live action. I imagine they had changed that after Beyond the Spider-Verse. Sony plans to reboot their universe anyway. No, he really isn't. And when I say he's not allowed to appear in live action, the contract, and as far as I know, like, this is probably going to be the same contract that happens after Brand New Day. The contract between Sony and Marvel prohibits. So it's a weird middle ground. It's a weird contract. Sony cannot make a Spider-Man movie, because it would oversaturate the market when Marvel Studios works with Sony to make a Spider-Man movie. So Sony already can't make a live-action Spider-Man movie. Then, second, Peter Parker cannot appear in live action outside of Marvel Studios because it might oversaturate the market. It's a bunch of bullshit. So, to maintain their MCU connection, Sony has to work within these rights. So Miles Morales can't star in a live-action Spider-Man film separately, because it would be Spider-Man. At the same time, Sony has prohibited Marvel from using Miles Morales because Sony wants Miles Morales in their back pocket. Sony, or at least previously, I don't know if Rothman is going to agree to any of this, but previously Rothman, coming into this Sony contract, Rothman seems more willing to acquiesce to any Disney demands. I think that's a bad move. We'll see what happens, because after Brand New Day, they're going to have to come up with a new contract or just re-sign the one that already exists. But it's just business. That's all there is to it. Let's see. He made Ben Jack. Oh, yeah, the Dan Slott's Clone Saga. Dan Slott's a cunt. Dan says you'll always get love on TikTok versus Instagram. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, my Instagram videos get like 100,000, 200,000 if I use the algorithm right. Like, I can get, more views on Instagram and, than most of my normal stuff on YouTube. It's really, so, like, anyway. So yeah, I love using Instagram and TikTok. I love YouTube, but YouTube's algorithm really restricts you. Like, your channel has to be something specific. Like, generally speaking, my Transformers channel does better than any of my other channels, but that's because this is the only one dedicated to something specific. My love of Transformers. So every video here is Transformers. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the bride. Again, all the way back, her meeting with Marvel. Bryan Cranston did also meet with Marvel. I said it then and I said it now. I don't believe, like, because again, we have a few years. Like, we're still a ways out from the X-Men film. I don't see what Bryan Cranston would have met for if it wasn't Professor Xavier. As far as I know, he didn't sign anything at that time. He's not a part of the film, but I'm telling you, because of the concept art, somebody at Marvel was like, Bryan Cranston could be our Xavier, because they made concept art for him. They saw him in that role. I just don't know if he signed on, because Bryan Cranston's, he's a hard get, and I respect it. I love him. I think it'd be amazing as Xavier, but I think we're running out of time for him to commit to 9 movies. You know what I mean? Anyway. But no, Bryan Cranston, the concept art that leaked was him as Professor X, and I very strongly believe that's exactly what he meant Marvel for. Because, and we see this all the time. This happens in art books. Open up the art books. Open up the Fantastic Four art book. Look at some. Look at Sue Storm. You know, look at Reed Richards. Not all the art looks like Pedro Pascal and whoever the fuck played Sue Storm. They look like other actors who were up for the role. And that's because Marvel will conceptualize these actors and be like, hey, how do they look in this role? How does this, maybe, and then they'll call a meeting and be like, hey, we were thinking about you for this role. Here's some art we've done. That's how those meetings go. It happens all the time. It doesn't always go anywhere, but it happens all the time. And if I hear about somebody meeting with Marvel, I just pretty much say it. Brian Cranston met with Marvel. And I'm 99% positive because of that concept art leak of him as Charles Xavier, that's exactly who he met for. Anyway, let's see. Miguel says that's because all the Latinas are on TikTok. I mean, it's Texas, man. Local TikTok is all Latinas. Anyway. Oh, I got to get to those messages. I'm distracted. I got a lot going on. I got messages. Let's see. YouTube won't let you say Nazi. That is weird that they won't just let you say Nazi. Miguel says, can't wait for the Xavier, Jean, and Scott love triangle. I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not even going to comment on it. Not going to do it. You know they're not doing that. Stan Lee was fucking weird. I love Stan Lee. I got to meet him. He was a very nice man, but he had some weird shit in the 60s. And he also never gave fair credit to the people he worked with. So, I digress, but it's a tough one for me. Stan Lee was a nice man who was abused, who suffered elder abuse, and those things should never happen. But, yeah, Stan Lee is not one of the X-Men is good. Stan Lee did terrible things for the X-Men. Like, the X-Men became popular because of Chris Claremont. Stan Lee's X-Men is terrible. I'm sorry, it's terrible. It's terrible. Just like the Ultimate X-Men is terrible. Ultimate X-Men is terrible. The old Ultimate X-Men, I never read the new one. The old original Ultimate X-Men from the early 2000s is terrible. Anyway. So, let's see. Dan says, if they're going the X-Men Evolution route, then Wolverine should be a teacher and won't be involved with Jean like that. Oh, 100%. If the X-Men Evolution story treatment is the one that's getting made, we're in for a treat. But also, Wolverine isn't even in the X-Men films right now. He's not even going to be a part of them. Miguel says, almost as weird as Pete and Bay's relationship in the 60s. Oh, yeah, don't get me started on that. Okay, even Claremont. Claremont pulled weird shit. So, yeah, don't get me wrong, he did. He did pull weird shit sometimes. But you can read most of his comics without that weird shit. You couldn't with Stan Lee. Stan Lee's shit is just bad. Like, his X-Men is legitimately bad. I'm sorry, it's not good. It is not good. That's like with Transformers. When people talk about what made Transformers comics iconic, it was Simon Furman. Simon Furman and Bob Budiansky did really good Transformer comics. Not everybody who has written Transformers has been a good fit for them. And what made Transformer comics huge was Simon Furman and Bob Budiansky. And honestly, Jim Shooter. We owe Jim Shooter everything as Transformer fans. We really do. Which is really funny. It's funny that Jim Shooter is the reason Transformers has so much of the lore that it has. And it's then, and that was Marvel. And then it's funny because Dan DiDio, before he went to and ruined DC, he ruined Beast Wars and Beast Machines at Mainframe. And we actually have a video coming up on that because of I'm celebrating the 30th anniversary of Beast Wars. So I am shining a lot on Dan DiDio because I'm still surprised how most people don't know that. But yeah, Jim Shooter helped give us Transformers, and Dan DiDio fucking ruined it in the late 90s. It's hilarious. A really good run of shows that Dan DiDio fucked up. Colossus and Kitty. Yeah, but the age discrepancy between Colossus and Kitty is closer, and also has slowly over time been retconned so that Kitty is like, even then they were still teens. And that's That's not as bad as Logan and Xavier and the other weird shit. Like, they were still teens, okay? Like, this isn't weird, creepy Michael Bay Transformer movie shit. Like, Colossus and Kitty, they were closer in age, at least. There was like a 3 year difference, 3 or 4 year difference, but they were still both teens. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was 18 and 14. So, yeah, but I think, it's better than nothing, man. Like, it's better than nothing. Like, you ask a lot, but these fucking white guys just fuck everything up for the rest of us. 14 and 18 is better than 14 and 40. That's all I'm saying. Like, writing Professor Xavier like he's Donald Trump is terrible. Like, that's just not good storytelling. Anyway. Okay, what do we got here? They specifically call out Times Runs Out. Oh, interesting. And then what's this one here? Oh, okay. I knew I missed something. Okay, Ed. The February 2028 Marvel movie, which is Black Panther, has been delayed to July 2028. And more dates have been set for Marvel for 2029. Shit. Hold on. I'm getting asked a question about dates, and I do. Shit. I have it somewhere. I do have it somewhere. I have these release dates somewhere. I'm gonna find them. Would love to see how they'd handle that can of worms nowadays. You retcon it, man. You make them both 18. You do not. You don't even do the 14 and 18-year-old anymore. I don't care. I mean, like, even me looking at it from the eight, like, at the very least, it's a 3 to 4 year difference, and they're still teens. But you don't even do it now. You don't. You don't do it. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. If there's, I'm trying to. Ed asked me a question, and Ed's my boy. I'm gonna answer Ed no matter what. Okay. These are the dates that are currently scheduled. I'm going to copy and paste this. So right now, the MCU has May 5th, July 28th, and December 15, 2028 scheduled for unannounced projects. And May 4th and July 13, 2029 are the dates right now. I believe the X-Men, I originally believed X-Men was going to be the May release. I still stand by that. I think May 5th, 2028 is X-Men. And I'm going to post this here for Ed. There. Okay, sorry. Ed's my boy. I love all of you, but Ed's an OG. Ed's my boy. Like, we stop for Ed. Period. Okay. Oh yeah. Did anything ever come of that unannounced Ultimate Alliance title? No, still nothing. I do. I I believe very strongly that Ultimate Alliance is getting re-released this holiday as part of the Xbox preservation. I can't guarantee it. That's the gossip. So I believe that is very likely. In terms of Ultimate Alliance 4, I know Nintendo met with Marvel. I know Nintendo wants it because Ultimate Alliance 3 sold really well on Switch. Nintendo wants Ultimate Alliance. I don't know why Marvel is hemming and hawing over it. I don't know if Marvel's asking for too much money. They probably are because Marvel's a bunch of cunts. But still, don't ask for that much money for Ultimate Alliance. It's an exclusive that sold really well. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch, which again, Switch is the best-selling console ever, and Switch 2 is now the fastest-selling console in history, and it's probably going to go on to be an amazing selling console as well. But the Switch 1 one console, Nintendo Switch, Ultimate Alliance 3, sold better than Marvel's Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy combined. So don't even start that shit with me. Hold on. Okay. Still better than Burns' retcon for Reed and Sue. Yeah, we don't talk about that. John Byrne should be investigated. Byrne stuff is weird. I'm sorry if you're a fan of John Byrne, more power to you. Byrne stuff is weird. John Byrne is legitimately questionable. Also, I heard he was really hard to work with. Anyway, um, let's see. Gotta see how Henry, Pym, and Janet are done justice this time around. Guardians of the Galaxy was done dirty, and Avengers sucked ass. Yeah, but they both had potential. I'm not gonna pretend like I wasn't the biggest cheerleader for Marvel's Avengers. I was the one who leaked it. I mean, like, my whole original Marvel channel took off because I had the biggest leak in Marvel gaming history that was reported by IGN and everything. Like, that channel and that video was getting shared everywhere, especially, like, because again, December 2016, I posted all those Marvel Avengers Square Enix leaks. January, it all gets confirmed. The channel blows up. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't a huge cheerleader for Marvel's Avengers. I was. It it is not, because I still replay it sometimes because I have it. It is not a terrible game, but it's a terrible live service game, and the story's awful, and it's also ugly, and it would have looked better if it was stylized. Anyway, uh, let's see, where are we? Miguel says, "Let's play fair with every hero that has been an abuser." Oh well, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Anyway, I'm not gonna. That's a downer conversation. I do not want to talk about all these abuser guys. Like, I don't know why they have it where they do comic stories where these guys hit, even if it's a one-off, hit their partners. I don't like it. Most of them have been retconned to not even happening. I don't know why these authors do it. These guys are fucking weird. Some of these guys who write comics are just creeps. That's just it. You can love the characters, but you can't defend some of the weird shit and fetishes that these guys write into these books. That's supposed to be superheroes for kids to pick up, anybody to pick up. It's just fucking weird, and you can't excuse it. You really can't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't excuse it. But any event where that happened, those are not the comic characters I read, and I don't even own any of their I don't even own those issues because I'm like, no, no. Okay, we're about to wrap up. We're about to wrap up. So, any last minute, anything? Remember, like the video, subscribe, and share. Share the love. Wherever, whatever you got, whatever social media you got, click that share button, share it. YouTube loves it. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, baby. Drop this shit in other Discords. Drop this shit in some subreddits. Just drop this shit. Just put it out. Put it out there. We need more of that Disney money. All right. We're not even going to talk about Ultimates. We're not going to talk about the OG Ultimate Universe and what they did to every other character besides Spider-Man, because it's terrible. Everything in that's terrible. Anyway, comments, questions, concerns, anything for Transformers before we wrap up. Anything at all, because this is it. I'm starting to close the tabs. Starting to close them. Huh. Interesting. Come on now. I've got to pick out a comment to pin. I'm going to pin this one. That is our pinned comment for the stream as we wrap up. Okay, here we go. I think so. That's it. I don't see anything. Don't see any comments. Don't see any shit. So we're in the clear, it looks like. I'm kind of relaxing, working on some fun stuff because it's my weekend. I've been working, well, technically 2 jobs. Job that brings in money and getting my company started. So I am taking it easy. Skybound Hot Rod is amazing. Skybound Hot Rod is fucking amazing. I got nothing bad to say about it. Skybound Hot Rod is the shit. Void Rivals is an amazing comic. The Energon universe is the best universe in comics right now. If you are not following the Energon universe, which right now only consists of 3 books, 4 starting in June, you are missing an era, an iconic era that they will talk about for years to come. As look at what American comics were doing in the 2020s. Look at what they were doing with Transformers. You're missing out. You're missing out. Transformers is already on its 12th printing. What? Print the check. Anyway, that's it. We're good. Thanks, everybody. Like, subscribe, print the check. Have a good weekend. Honestly, I think we're going to be live on Transformers again tomorrow because it's Saturday. My date is next weekend, so this weekend I'm just at home with my son. So I think we might go live again. So yeah, I'll see you then. And then for today, if you're in the Discord, it's game night. So we're gonna be doing some Fortnite, and we're gonna play some legitimate Fortnite, and then we're also probably gonna be cheating. Okay. All right. So till all are one.